film I'm about to go over, Iker got developed about 2 months ago. It is as old as 2 years ago, and I have not looked at it yet. I'm really curious about what I'm gonna see. Definitely have some mixed feelings about this. I have a decent idea about what could be on here from a few different trips. Wow, okay. This must have been on my Wyoming trip with my uncle, and this is just like a moose drinking from some water. Oh, here's a better picture. Oh, it's so nice. Absolutely love moose. They're my favorite animal. To take another, love the reflection here. Wow. Oh, I actually remember this. I remember the moose running away. Oh, did not expect to see this here. Oh, the alpacas are so cute. But okay, yeah, yeah. This is a trip I did 2 summers ago with my family. Later, like 2 months after the Wyoming trip, actually. And then this was the hike to Summit Lake. So if this mountain in the background, you kind of like hike up here through the pass, and you're gonna be at Lake Summit, and then people could bring their alpacas with them, I guess, to transport some of their stuff on like longer backpacking treks, and they just had them tied up there like partway up the hike. So that was sick. Wow, these are so cute. This is actually really good. Oh, I remember this. This is when I did some sunrise photography with my dad, and we had brought a tripod, and I was using like from what I remember about this film, it's like Fuji IOS 200. We set it up on a tripod, right? And we're able to capture the morning light, which like normally with like the iOS 200 film, you absolutely would not be able to do like freehand anyway. So this is like actually spectacular. Sorry for the cut. I just realized that my face would be blocking a decent amount of the picture there. Oh, another picture from that morning. It's so nice. Looks like what did we do here? Decrease the shutter speed a little bit. The detail here on the mountain is nice, but it's really cool to be able to see this more like warm color here. The contrast here just looks like absolutely spectacular. So I'm happy I made that change. More of the same, just maybe played a bit around with the aperture there too. Seems like it looks like a little bit more flat, but that's okay. Still liking this one the most for sure. Okay, just a portrait there. Just you could see a little bit more of the lake from what I remember on this Colorado trip. That's Emerald Lake. That is Emerald Lake. Ooh, this was yeah. I remember this is like a similar area, like as a part of that like lake hike. But this is just like looking off into the distance at just a mountain range there that I thought looked absolutely spectacular. I remember like having a portrait picture of this on my iPhone that was like my lock screen for like a good year. So that is sick. Okay, not as good. I don't know what was going on here. It's all right. Nice rock in the pond, I suppose. Okay, I always like the stream photos. Like I remember the year prior I went on like a backpacking trip in Colorado and had some like great pictures of the stream. Probably just trying to recreate some of that magic, but it didn't work. Oh, okay. Not too interesting. Just Virginia picture, like little Shenandoah hike I did with some of my friends at the end of last summer. So that's like a between this and this is like a probably 13 or 14 month gap. So let's see what I came up with afterwards. Same, probably not necessary to take two pictures. That view. Ooh, okay. McAfee Sunset. It's a really nice one. This is like a great picture, great hike that I took with like some of my friends at college during my last semester. Just a sunset hike, McAfee's Knob in Virginia. It's one of the more iconic photo spots there with the rock that protrudes out. Wow. Okay. This is this is good. I mean for Japan, like it's hard not to capture interesting stuff, but now this is like a 2 month gap here. Probably so yeah, 2 or 3 month gap. Like I went on a 5 week trip to Japan after I graduated, so definitely have at least a few pictures here. I remember only shooting film in the first couple weeks of this trip when I was with my dad, with both my parents actually, but then I was just shooting digital after that. But this is pretty interesting. I guess probably could have done a little bit better job with like the the angle on this. Looks a little slanted, but I really like the shadows, the kind of like highlights on the plant life and on the clothes up here. This is like a pretty good just daily life scene, I guess. Okay, I do remember this one. This was like at a little like temple that was on the side of the street that I just thought that the whole kind of like composition of this was super interesting. I wish I could just kind of like show exactly what I was looking at the time. That would be amazing. But the lighting was spectacular. It was like a morning walk through just like Meguro Tokyo that I did with my parents on like the first morning we got there. I remember holding up the line to the shrine to pray at too. When would this have been? When would this have been? I think this is a Shinjuku. Oh, okay. I think there's about to be some good pictures here. Like the lighting here is like just okay, and composition also just okay. But Kiyomitsu Dera, like obviously a really iconic spot in Kyoto. So yeah, wow, wow. I just got to take this one in. Like I I think I did a pretty good job here with like kind of the geometry, so to speak, and the lines going on with the temple, the little bit of light because like the sunrise is behind was rising probably behind me, like up above the hill onto the temple. So that's actually sick. That is so sick. All right. I mean, you get a better view of the temple and like what's going on, but I think I like this one more than this one, but that's still like very cool. Yeah, not too bad. I mean, just this is not the Kimitsu-dera, I'm pretty sure. This is like a smaller temple that we did a hike to. Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like adjacent to it, probably like a half mile away. I went with my mom on this like sunrise and it was so cold. That was actually so beautiful. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, this one's really cool. I remember like being in the most like awkward position possible while taking this picture. I was like lying down, but I think it turned out really well. Like the lighting you get here and like the contrast. I like how I would have used like a little bit of like a lower aperture just to get it like blurred in the background, almost like a portrait mode type picture. That's really sick. Love the flowers. I just absolutely love the way that the light's hitting the tombstone. Thank you, Tanaka, for being a great subject. Wow. Yeah. More the same there. Probably could have. My alignment on some of these was not the best in Japan. I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, I guess this was probably like towards the exit of Kiyomitsu-dera, just like before you go walk down on the street. Just okay. It's a little bit better, a little bit more light and interesting rooftops there. Definitely would love to go back and see that view again. Wow. Oh, okay. This not very interesting of an area, but I feel like it has a really cool story behind it. I forget the name of the park, but I went with my parents to go see this playground that we have like an abstract painting of sort of so to speak like in our house. Like it's a bit more like impressionist. I feel like you can't really tell what it is, but it sort of makes sense if you actually see the location. And so we went on like a mission to find that. And it's just a very ordinary playground in a very ordinary neighborhood that was very far out of the way in Tokyo, but that was from there. This feels like I was just probably rushing to get done with the role. Probably should have finished it just at random shots in Japan, but I when I'm shooting film, I do kind of care about the lighting and composition. So this is cool back in DC, but nothing too crazy. Oh, and then I think the last couple shots probably been the cherry blossoms, from what I remember, which is like just in March of this year. So nothing too far out. A nice view of the Jefferson Memorial over the tidal basin. Then some more cherry blossoms. And looks like that's it. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this. Favorite shot from what I can remember is probably going to be either one of the alpaca portraits in Colorado, the McAfee's sunset hike, because I have a soft spot in my heart, I could say, for that like Virginia fall foliage and like the sunrise sunsets there. Like I used to shoot that on film like in my freshman year, which was like my first introduction to film photography. And then also probably like the gravestone. If you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed at least one of these pictures. I'd love to hear which is your favorite, and thank you for watching.